This is the concept that completely changed my life, and this is the concept of the glass of salt and water. And I wanted to share with all of you, for anyone who is going through a difficult time, hopefully this analogy can help to shift your world. To understand this, we need a backstory. And for me, I'm an open book, and I just want to share openly. And this is quite personal because this is around when I was in my mid-20s. It was the most difficult period that I was going through, and it was regarding a breakup. And my world fell apart. Going through a breakup for me was challenging because maybe someone like myself at that time, I was very attached. This was my identity. This was my whole world. This was my whole friend group, but everything about my life revolved around this relationship. So without this relationship, what is left? So being that young, it destroyed my whole world. It took me into the deepest, darkest place of myself, to the point where some days I would, many days, I would cry myself to sleep. Many days just driving to work the next day, just tears running down my cheeks. And I know it sounds dramatic, but when you're in that space, you're just in that space. Also at that time, I utilized professional help. I was so desperate. And the therapy, the life coaches, the friends that I utilized, it was all very helpful. But at that time, I found that it gave me coping skills and coping tools. It got me up to get my day started. It got me up to functioning. But again, there was still this underlying issue that I wanted to address, and I wanted to fully change my life, but I didn't know how. For myself is, I'm willing to do the work. I'll do anything, but I just did not have the wisdom. I didn't know the path and the plan to shift my world. To the point of desperation, what I had to do was I went to my mom. And for some people, it might be easy. Just go to your parents. But for myself, coming from a conservative, very traditional background of Asian family, immigrant, refugee family, we didn't talk about our feelings. We did not talk about relationships, because when it comes to relationships, get over it. Move on. You're not gonna die. You can still move forward, and the emotions and the feelings in our context, or specifically in my context, wasn't honored. And that's okay, no one to blame. But at this desperation point, I remember vividly, I went to my mom and I asked her, with what I've been through, where I am now, I'm suffering. I'm going through such a lonely, sad, difficult time. And Mom, I don't know how to get out of this. And I need your wisdom and I need your guidance. Please help me. I'm willing to listen to anything, even from the Buddhist context. Share anything with me. Religious, I don't care at this point. Just share, and I'm fully open. And my mom, with no judgment at all, what she shared with me so compassionately, without even missing a beat, and she says, this is your life. All of the bad things that has happened or that is currently happening to you, it's simply as a result of your old karma. Whether it's past life, whether it's this life, but they're just actions with intentions that you had that were not so pure through thoughts, speech, and actions. And here it is. And what it is now it is fully taking fruit at this moment, and you're feeling it. Now you gotta pay the debt. You cannot get rid of this. You cannot hide this or take this out, but now it's time. The karma has taken its fruit, and now just pay the debt. No big deal. And the other second part that she shared with me is that if you cannot remove this salt, all the negative things that you've done before in the past, can't take it back. Now you got to pay for it. So then what is the other option? And she said the other option of getting rid of this bad is add more good. And you got to dilute it. And when it comes to good, the equivalency that we can equate it to is like water. Every time you do a good deed, every time you do a good action, imagine just putting a drop of water. Slowly, drop of water. The more good you do, keep adding more water to the point where this whole cup is full. My mom said, whatever happened in the past, you don't need to beat yourself up. You don't need to judge yourself. Again, just accept things as they are and then do more good. Fill it up to the top. Then once it's filled up to the top and you're looking at this, is the salt still there? And the answer is yes. But the difference is now you diluted it with water. The salt that is still there, yes, my life was still salty. Keep it real, very salty, but now just keep adding. And when this cup is full, imagine, take this and put it in a bowl. And now in this bowl, keep doing more good. Keep adding more water and fill it all the way to the top. Take this bowl, now put it in a tub. Keep adding more water. And now the salt that is still there, we add more water, now it's even more diluted. Put this water in a pool. Fill it up to the brim. And again, is the salt still there? That answer is yes. But your water is not as salty because it's diluted. And what I am describing to you is Buddhism in a nutshell. When we want to fix our life, there's only 3 steps. The bad that you are currently doing, the bad habits, the thoughts, speech, and actions, as of today, stop it. No more. Don't do that. The second part is then do more good. And then the third part is purify the mind, and that is through meditation. So then you can cultivate wisdom, you can cultivate a clearer sense of perspective, you can see things clearly, and now you can fix your problems even more. Now let's break that down even into more detail so you can have some practical steps. Stop doing bad, do good, and purify the mind. So if you need to take out a sheet of paper or a journal, now is the time, but let's go into it step by step. Stop doing bad. Take it from the most basic behaviors. You know yourself. Things that no longer serve you or are not currently serving you, do not do this from this day moving forward. Let's stop it here. Stop is the secret to success. And in the context of the monastery, in the context of the East and Buddhism, it means hold your precepts, hold your morality. Stop doing bad has 5 items. It means no killing of living beings. So people, animals, any of that stuff from today on, no killing or no taking of life. Even for us, mosquitoes. Oh, in Thailand, there are mosquitoes. Very challenging, but from that, we do not want to cause any harm. The second part is then no stealing. Do not take what does not belong to you. Do not take people's money. Do not take people's ideas. Do not take someone's pen, anything from this moment on. Do not take what does not belong to you. The third one is no sexual misconduct. This simply means if you are in a relationship or if someone else is in a relationship, respect the boundaries. Do not cross the line. do not engage in anything that is inappropriate. Number 4 is no false speech. And this can be divisive speech, trying to divide people. This can be gossiping. This can be false speech, not truthful speech, harsh speech. How many of you are doing this? So if you are engaged in any of these behaviors now, it's okay. No judgment on this end. But as of today, the salt, your life that is salty, stop adding more salt. And then the last one is no intoxicants. Do not engage in any substance that will alter your mind. Any alcohol, any drugs, then again, stop adding more salt. So these are the 5 things, and let's just start there. The second step then, do more good. We need to add the water to dilute this, and they come in the form of good actions, speech, and thoughts. So with that, give, practice generosity. And the way that we can give is give of your resources. That's an easy one. Donate it to charity. One simple thing that I find that is so effective, and it's not about the amount, but just the habit and the practice of generosity first. Just to do an act of service and kindness. So for you, is take out a jar. Every single day, put a penny, put a nickel, put $1, put $100. It does not matter, but start to learn how to give. When you collect this, then you can donate it to a charity of your choice, to an animal shelter, to the monastery, to the church, to a school. Does not matter, but you can give of your resources. Another way that we can give is of your time. If you do not have resources, that means you have time. So with your time, volunteer. Spend time to help other people. You can be a tutor. You can help to sweep the temple. You can help to volunteer at an organization, but many ways expand your minds and get as creative as possible. And just know that when you're doing this good, again, you're adding more water. Another type of giving is with your teachings and teaching people of the right way to live, going on the proper path. Teaching them wholesome habits, how to think in a positive way, how to behave in a wholesome way, how to speak in a wholesome way, how to live your life that is wholesome. Those will bring some good energy into your life. Again, more water. Another way to give is forgiveness. Oh, this is a big one. Forgiveness of others, and then forgiveness of yourself. How many of you out there are still holding a grudge? Maybe you did something that did harm, caused grief to someone else. Maybe this is the moment. Ask for forgiveness. Even if someone who is passed away and you can't physically ask them for forgiveness, you can still, through your stillness, through your meditation, the good energy that you cultivated, set the intention and ask them and send this good, positive intention to them as well. And then also, many people in the West don't know that this is an option, but it is to forgive yourself. Many times we're so hard or so critical. We do things with the best intentions, but sometimes we may cross the line and do things that are intentionally or unintentionally harmful to ourselves and others. So with that, then ask yourself for forgiveness and let go. And that act of generosity to yourself and others, again, is more water into your glass of salt. And then the last one, of a way that we can add more water, more purity into yourself and your situation is to meditate. My friends, this is key. I know many of you out there are starting to hear about meditation and the benefits of it, but to go a bit deeper is how meditation can help you is that it teaches you the skill of neutral observation so you can see clearly. Buddhism teaches you see reality as it is, your lens, your perspective to the world. Look at your situation without all of the hard emotions, without all the hard criticism and judgments and stories that you're tainting it. It's not accurate. So from that, when we have the intentions to just close your eyes, immediately pure energy starts to clean itself. It's cleansing, it's detoxing. It's detoxing you of anger, it's detoxing you of greed, of delusion, and again, more water to this, and this is how your life will start to shift. You will gain more wisdom. With more wisdom and neutrality, you'll go back into your life and look at all the different dimensions again. Go clean it, go fix it, start to tweak it, gain more wisdom, do more good. Go look at it again, start to change your behaviors, start to change your speech, start to change your thoughts. Meditate, more wisdom. Again, it's a spiral. And we're cleaning our lives, we're cleaning our mind inside, we're cleaning our world outside, all at the same time. So again, for anyone who is going through this difficult time, I would say that there is hope, and this system can give you a way out. If your life is salty, if you have a lot of suffering, my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry. And at the same time, it's just a result of what happened before in the past. I can't explain it. You don't need to figure it out. It is okay. But from this moment on, again, stop doing bad, which means don't add more salt. Do more good, add more water, and keep purifying your mind. And one day, the saltiness and the heaviness, you won't feel it as heavy. The next question I know that will be on your mind, and you will ask me if we were in person, is, Venerable Nick, okay, I'm willing to do this. How long will it take? And my answer to you, as honestly as possible, is I don't know. Because there's two things. One is how much salt is in your cup. All the deeds that you've done before in the past, I don't know what has accumulated. Maybe some of you have a whole jar full. Some of you have a whole gallon. I don't know. But at the time, for me, this is what I had. Also, the second part is the answer to how long will this take? How much good are you willing to do? How pure are you willing to do that? And this will speed it up. Because what it means is, how much water will you add to this? How fast can you dilute this? I don't know. And it is up to you. But I know from my personal experience, it took me almost 8 years, if I were to be completely honest, to be able to lift myself fully out of this fog. Why did it take so long? Because I didn't have the guidance. I didn't have the wisdom. I didn't have the hand-holding. I didn't have the mentors and the space that I can go to, that I can work on myself like this. I was just fumbling in the dark. And why am I sharing all of this with you? Is because I get it. And I wanted to share with you so that you don't feel so alone. To know that when you are in this space of darkness, that there is still hope. And if you were to ask me at my darkest period, that I would be able to shift my world and there would be days where I have joy, There will be days where I'm hopeful and I have dreams, and even to the point where my story and my life and my actions can impact other people. I couldn't have imagined that. But from the faith and the sheer desperation, I just knew I had to do it for myself. What I know for me at that time was I have two paths. One, I can stay the same, or two, I can make a change. When you're faced with these two paths, I know that both paths is hard. Not changing, hanging out with the same crowd, doing the same maladaptive behaviors, which means behaviors that are not serving you and that are not productive, that life is hard too if you were really to look at it and be fully honest. It comes with a lot of suffering. This other path of healing and doing good and looking at yourself and changing one day at a time, your habits and your behaviors and thought patterns, this is also very challenging. It's lonely, it is dark at times, but what I know is at least with this path of healing, my life can start to shift and I have something to show for it. And there is hope. So for those who are watching and you're faced with these two things, I can't tell you what to do. You really have to have a honest conversation with yourself and take this period to see, for my life, what path do I want to go on? And maybe I'm not ready. I need to suffer a bit more to the point where then I will have to change, where life intervenes, or you're going to use this wisdom. What I'm providing you and the wisdom will say, wow, there's a system. There's millions of people. All people suffer. All people have salt in their glass. And millions of people also took the difficult path and their life started to change, where they have purpose and meaning and know-how. They did the hard work, which means put your head down. Put your head down, and you don't have to ask why. You don't need to ask how long, when will this shift, but trust the process. Trust the process, and you need to have faith. And I'm talking about faith, not Buddhist faith, not Muslim faith, not religious faith, but faith in general of goodness. When you do good, good will follow. When you do bad, bad will follow. And trust this system, that this is the period in my life, the point in my life where I will take the road less traveled. I am willing to do the hard work for as long as it takes, and that's what I made the commitment to do. And bit by bit, day by day, just kept doing the work. And what I found that happens is slowly, just one day, like grief, this heaviness, this fog starts to lift and it feels a little bit light. And that's it. That's the best way I can describe it. And in this moment, I can breathe. It's not as heavy. It's not as dark. I don't feel as lost. Keep going. Keep going, my friends. And keep going and keep doing the work, and your life will change. Take my story as a case study and an example. Take the stories of other people, your teachers, your friends, humanity. People have gone through this suffering. So for myself, I just wanted to share this because in hopes, with intention, that it can help someone. Not so much as a preachy thing and you need to, no, you can figure that out. But all I know is crisis in all of our lives show up And in every crisis, just like a coin, there's two sides. And in this two sides, with every crisis, there is an opportunity. And the fact that you're watching this video, for me, there's no coincidences. And it might be your time. And as a person just hidden in the forest, I'm just sending you all my blessings, sending you this positive energy, and I'm just rooting you on. And I think you got this. So with that, I hope this is helpful, and just sending you all my blessings from Thailand, and hope you are all safe and well, but keep us updated on your progress. Satu.